Throw me a baseball back.
Yeah, throw me a baseball.
Throw me a baseball.
Welcome
Right
in.
behind you.
Right behind. That's how we start the show, bro. That's how we start the show.
Baby.
Welcome in to another edition of the Orestes Destrade show. We call it the Big O show here. How are you, partner?
Man, I'm doing fantastic.
How are you, Big O?
I'm tranquil and tropical on this Friday. We're going to be talking a lot of different things from the United States all the way to Japan.
We're going overseas.
We're going to go overseas, give a little report on what's going on over there. As they're ending their season, and so are we over here, and getting into the races, getting into a lot of exciting stuff. In fact, we got a little Blake Snell sighting that we're going to hit on.
There was an incident.
There was an incident.
There was an incident
that everybody can relate to. If you're
are we really gonna wake up the echoes of that memory?
Why not? It's apropos. It just happened a couple days ago, and I know that I kind of cringed when I saw that one. I'm like, why could that been us?
Oh,
but overall, good stuff, and in the season's ending as dramatically, at least, in the race for the wild card and a couple division titles that are still up for grabs.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good show. We got lots to get to today. We're gonna do a little bit of Rays stuff as we look at the upcoming offseason and what they're gonna be doing, and kind of finish out what's happening right now with the Rays as they have a couple nice wins over Toronto here.
Listen, no surprise there, by the way. They came in 5-1, and lost that first game, and then won the last lost the first couple, and then they won the last couple. So
yeah, it's a story of mediocrity,
right,
in the record, but some individual stories of excellence that we will get to. Because Chandler Simpson is having a hell of a rookie year.
Sure is.
Hell of a rookie year.
Yeah.
He had 3 hits last night to bring his average over 300.
Yeah.
301. One of only 2 rookies this year hitting over 300.
Well,
and
there's not many people hitting over 300.
And there's not many. No. Right? In an era where not many people hit 300. Are you surprised that he's been able to hit 300?
No, not at all. Number one, obviously there's a slew of infield hits with that. So, when you're that speedy and you get in a little bit of a slump kind of thing where you're not hitting bullets to the outfield, like when he's hot, he's hitting well, because he actually has a really good snap swing. It's not a little slappy little, punch and Judy. He has a good swing. So I'm not surprised that the combination of having a good hand-eye coordination and a really powerful line drive swing, coupled with that speed, all you got to do if you're in 0 for 2, 0 for 3, or in an 0 for 10 slump, listen, put it on the ground, drop a bunt, and all of a sudden, you get yourself out of that with a 1 for 5 or a 1 for 4, and you're right back at it. So not at all surprised about that. What needs to happen with him, and we'll talk as we go, deeper into the offseason as to some of the preparations for next year. I need him to get 500 at bats next year. I mean, I think this kid could literally steal 70, 80 bags once he, really learns even a little more of what the pitchers are trying to do, what teams are trying to do with him. And he could lead the league in hitting one year. I mean, he's that capable.
Really?
Oh,
I thought when he got to the big leagues that it would be an adjustment in terms of being able to hit for average.
Nope. I think this kid has a good enough hand-eye coordination with the speed that now, you're talking about a guy that could hit 325, 330. Well, that's what's leading the league in hitting now. It's no longer 370.
Right.
Judge is going to probably wind up leading the majors in hitting with a 325, 326 average right now.
Yeah.
So slapping with that speed, yeah. Now the defense I'm more concerned about his defense rising than him being able to hit 300. So that needs to get that worked out.
Well, he had that nice. He robbed. Forget who it was the other night of a 3-run homer, and
that was
nice. 3 hits in the. I mean, he won the game.
He's coming around. He's going to be an all-star, and I think.
And he's been a second baseman. They had him taking some ground balls the other day at second baseman. So this is his first year playing outfield
for legit outfield, right? So
how long does it take to learn the nuances?
Listen,
of that?
I tell you what, there is the speed is not everything. You know what I mean? It's how the main thing with the outfield is how well you disseminate the ball off the bat right off the bat. So as far as getting to the grounders, to your left, to your right, your round, all that, it's the balls hit straight at you and how you know what your first couple steps are. And you've seen him zigzag a little bit to get to balls, but he makes up with his speed, as opposed to a guy like Mangum, who, like, the ball's hit, you see him kind of stop for a split second and he knows exactly where to go.
The route.
The route.
Because he's been playing that position since he was a kid.
It is a little bit unfair.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Once he, works on that this winter and really works on it in spring training, then all of a sudden you're going to be seeing a guy that could become an exceptional, outfielder. And if down the road, we don't know how long the tenure for Brandon Lau will be. It needs to be for another season for sure. There's an option out there that needs to be exercised because he's had that great a year, 25 for Jacks, stayed healthy, played a very solid second base. So, but that could be the future for Simpson to kind of come back then to second base.
Interesting. Maybe why they were working him at second.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt.
Haven't decided whether
what's going on with reference to Brandon Lau.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Carson Williams hit his third home run in 25 games. Obviously, average wise, too many strikeouts, but he's got the pop. It's
not just too many strikeouts. Of course, there are going to be too many strikeouts. The problem with Carson Williams is too much trying to lift the ball and hit home runs, and too much of the not knowing the zone, not knowing the zone, not swing and miss. You're going to swing and miss when you're swinging his sliders down and away on righties. He's hitting a
45-degree launch
against righties. Right. He's over 200 against lefties. So obviously he's chasing and chasing and chasing. I'm super fine with that. This guy has so much potential, physical tools, hands, size, arm. Defensively, he could be a Gold Glover. That I'm really high on him. Now, you can only be so high until the kid makes adjustments.
Right.
Then you start going like, all right, there's certain players that just can't adjust in any of the major sports. But if he can adjust and you bring his zone in, JP, and you tell him, listen, I don't need you to hit 450-foot bombs. I need you to hit. Who's been hitting the ball well the last couple of games?
Who's that?
Who's come back off an injury and from abysmal season? Volpe. I've watched Volpe the last couple of days. He had 3 hits one night and a couple hits the other night. You know where all the hits have been going? Right field, center, right.
That's a good
swing
sign.
All of a sudden has been shortened, and I think he's been humbled, right? And basically also hopefully told by, now teams now don't have just one hitting coach. They have a hitting coach, an assistant hitting coach, analytics hitting coach, your video hitting coach.
Your video guy.
Yeah, so somebody along the line there has to tell them, let's stop with the big ass swing. Let's go with a short, condensed. We
got enough sluggers on this team.
Got enough sluggers on this team.
Yeah.
Let's hit some bullets to center and right center. Get on base. He's fast as shit.
Yeah.
Get on base, score some runs.
Yeah.
Take the pressure off you, then play the defense that you can play. It's going to be a similar thing with Carson Williams.
So as the Rays go forward here and next year, how many of these rookies you think are going to be
impactful
everyday players?
And
I think those two for sure.
And
what about Bob?
Bob will not be
Seymour.
Bob Seymour will not be an everyday player.
No,
I don't even know if he'll really be on the big league roster. Because Aranda just did too much.
Yeah, you got Aranda,
and he's about to come back if he wants to for a couple of games.
Should he come back?
Now he's another one just like Ryan Pepio, who just should be shut down.
Shut it down. Yeah.
Figure out some simulated games this winter, get them somewhere, play a little bit, and make sure that everything is healthy. But Jonathan Aranda showed enough this year.
Absolutely. He's an all-star.
He's legit.
He's legit.
It wasn't a fluke, right? So he's my first baseman. You just need to go out and find a power outfielder bat, because you've got your DH.
Yeah.
And you locked Yandy up for
so you got Yandy, Aranda at first, Bilal at second.
Yeah.
Carson at short.
I don't mess with that those five right
Carson
there.
at short with with Taylor Walls backing up all those positions.
Right. With Junior at third.
Yeah.
Superstar. And then you go out and try to find.
Superstar.
He is. He's going to be a superstar.
And we can't just gloss over that.
You can't gloss over the
44
Yeah. 100.
Now he's hurt, so he may not get to 46.
Back. It's a long season. Just take it easy on him. Great job. You know what my biggest concern with Junior Caminero is? Weight. That's my biggest concern. He's only 22 years old.
Yeah.
And you can see that he could end up being bottom heavy.
Yeah.
A little body heavy.
Yeah.
If he gets a little bit too much, un poquitico demasiado arroz con, frijoles, and I was going to say,
what kind of Dominican food are we eating over there?
The same thing that they eat in Puerto Rico and Cuba, bro. I take it back. Cubans in America that have the opportunity to eat a lot of food. Cubans in Cuba don't have the opportunity. They're all
skinny.
So
yeah.
God bless you in my country.
But Dominican food is
Dominican
good.
food is pork and my favorite
yellow rice.
Is goat. Have you ever had goat? Like really good?
What?
Goat
meat? I love the goat cheese. I love goat cheese.
Goat meat, bro.
Goat meat?
Oh my God.
It's good?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
You eat the goat?
What are you talking about? Of course you eat the goat, man. You eat dude, I used to roll into we played winter ball. I played winter ball there for a few years. My favorite place was playing in La Romana, which is where Casa de Campo is, Teeth of the Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Teeth of the Dog.
And played there, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a famous,
place.
incredible course on the water.
Oh, yeah.
And the rocks. It's
all-inclusive place.
It's ridiculous,
fantastic.
right? So we used to get a villa there.
Yeah.
And the team would provide these little villas, and it'd be 2 players to a villa. I roomed with Hensley Bam Bam Mullins one year.
Hensley Mullins, Bam Bam, right? Yeah.
Great guy. So the funny thing is that you go on the road and you go to San Pedro de Macorís, or you go to Santiago, and as you're pulling in, they would have these guys. They would see the ball players coming off the truck, and they know that we had a couple of bucks, right? And they would have the chickens, and you would pick out a chicken, live chicken, and you go. Dame ese.
You're ordering dinner?
I'm ordering lunch after BP. So you're getting there like around 10, 11 o'clock.
That's fresh chicken, baby.
Not even then. You're getting there like at 9 in the morning. You're going to, dress up, have BP. After batting practice, that chicken would be brought to you.
You're sacrificing live chicken.
Oh, dude. I mean, it was, not like that, you knucklehead. You pick out a chicken, they would undress it, cook it.
That was just in the movie Major League.
Chicken. You'd have that before the game, bro, with a little cafecito. Dude, that's what Junior Caminero needs to watch out. Not be eating 3 or 4 chickens, just one whole chicken.
Wade Boggs never had that kind of chicken.
Dude, that would have been interesting.
Boggsy, they chicken before.
We'll talk, see if
you ever have a live chicken. You ever order up a live chicken right before that?
I'll take that one right there, the plump one.
And but did you eat the goat too? You order up the goat?
The goat was more like at restaurants where you you could do it on the side of the street too.
Like, I want to buy your goat.
I didn't trust the side of the street
of the street goat
as much as I trusted the side of the street.
Is that goat fresh? Because that could have been roadkill from like 3 days ago.
I didn't trust the side of the street goat. As opposed to the side of the street chicken. Yeah, I saw them running around.
Do they have like on the side of the street, like the barbecuing that stuff up?
Oh, yeah.
You stop in, like, hey,
like a kebab type thing.
Yeah, like a kebab. You don't know what's in that kebab.
I wasn't sure. So the goat,
that could have been Fluffy, the family dog yesterday.
It could have been goat. It could have been meow. So I don't know. So I opted for.
We digress.
Yeah.
But Junior needs to lay off.
Yeah, Junior needs. That's the only thing, because listen. It has been a problem for other players that blown up, and then all of a sudden you're not moving around as
like you should. Yeah. But defensively, he's really improved.
He's actually really good defensively.
Really good.
He's got great soft hands, got a strong arm.
Yeah.
There's no shame in his game. His game should escalate. Right. I mean, he's a guy that conceivably could hit, 40 homers steady for a decade. Do that math. Now you're talking about a plus 400 homer career. That's legit.
All right, so the Rays look good for that. We talked a lot about the new ownership and new stadium, all that stuff in the last episode. So if you want to get some info on that, check out the last episode of the Big O Show. You can always go to FanStream Sports Tampa Bay on YouTube, watch them all, or on Apple and Spotify. Please like and subscribe to the Big O Show as we get this thing rolling.
Having some fun over here.
Yeah, we are having some fun.
Tranquil and Topper.
Yeah, we are. All right, so let's go a little bit macro here on Major League Baseball and a couple of things that came up. You mentioned the Blake Snell thing.
Yes.
Which obviously, gives Rays fans nightmares of the World Series. Maybe pitching the best game we've ever seen him pitch. 6 innings in. The Dodgers are completely confounded.
Right.
And you take it from there.
Well, I'll tell you what was very curious about that and why it happened. I'm going to explain to you why it happened. The reason that it happened is that the Rays are very analytical, right? They're super sabermetrics, one of the top probably 3 or 4 teams that really stick with that and stick with it strong. Hence the immense amount of changes in their lineups depending on who's pitching, who's playing third, who's playing short. It's not even just on who's pitching. It's on so many dynamics to the game that they input to the computer and out pop this lineup. And you're like, how did home team hit 9th yesterday? Now he's your 4th hitter.
Yeah.
Christopher Morel, for example.
Why hell's Christopher Morel in the cleanup spot?
Wasn't he your worst hitter?
Hitting 113.
So what happened at that point in time in October of 2020, in Game 6 of the World Series, that if you could have held on, dare I say, there could have been some magic Game 7 and upend, the David and Goliath scenario that we were out with our boy Phillips doing the airplane thing. It was just, was memorable.
Yeah,
it was memorable.
There was magic in the air.
And they still should be magical for any Rays fan because it was a special. I mean, with all the tumultuous times that we were living in with COVID and the pandemic and staying in your house, my God, that was a breath of fresh air. Okay. So here's the problem. The problem was that season, Blake Snell had gone a little bit up and down during that season.
Right.
He wasn't, Cy Young Blake Snell.
Right.
So he was still up and down, which I believe he had won the Cy Young the year before. Mm-hmm. Right. So what happened? A third time around the batting order, the average against him went up from like 210 first time around, 230 second time around, 274. Third time around the order. So all along throughout the playoffs, they had that thought in their mind, third time around the order.
Got to get him out.
You got to get him out. Got to get him out. But the difference was, it's interesting because Walker Buehler just got signed by Philadelphia, and they're going to give him a chance, right? Because they're hurting with pitching. And one of the things that Walker Buehler just said just a 3 days ago, he said, I appreciate the Phillies and Dave Dombrowski for going beyond the analytics and thinking that with their gut that I could be a guy that's pitched in postseason and might be able to give them the innings that they need. Yeah. So now all of a sudden, that's a feel signing.
Imagine that.
That's not an analytic signing. That's a feel signing. Yeah. So when that happened with Blake Snell, the feel scenario should have been do not take him out.
Right.
He's got the feeling, the curveball snapping, the fastball spotting.
Something that analytics cannot factor in is how you are pitching and feeling that day.
Boom.
Because that changes especially with pitchers. It changes, and who knows why. Yeah. Some days it's snapping more than others. Your timing is perfect, whatever it is.
Especially with pitchers.
But when you're in the zone, don't F with it.
So
don't F with it.
They did. You had Mookie coming up. I'll never forget the famous shot, whoever the producer was that was on point, director really, that the moment that Cash came out. And it's interesting because just a couple of days we had that with Blake, where Blake was asking not to be taken out, but they did take him out. At that moment, the shot went to Mookie Betts, who looked back in the dugout at his manager Doc, and said, can you, almost like the look of this, can you believe this? And they all went like this, and the rest was history, right? He got a knock, a couple more knocks, game was over.
Cash came out, took him out of the game.
Yeah.
And everybody went bananas, and so did the Dodgers.
And so did the Dodgers. So same situation ends up happening a couple nights ago. And, oh, by the way, not exactly the same, but similar in the sense of do I take him out or not for the manager. But he had 107 pitches. At that point in time, he was 5 1/3, dealing, had just given up a little bloop single.
Yeah.
and he had how many pitches did he have? 70 something. 73 pitches.
Yeah.
And this is 107 in the 7th inning.
Yeah.
When you fast forward, when the Dodgers manager comes out, he's shaking no. And
Blake said, "No, I'm not coming out of the game." And he talked Dave Robertson to leave him in the game.
Doc Roberts said, "Listen, boom, I'll give you a chance." Goes out, punches out the next guy. The crowd goes wild. And it just, it just shows you a couple of things that I took from that. Number one, you really got to, especially when you get into the playoffs and you get into this. In fact, this is kind of like the playoffs with the Dodgers. They're trying to jockey their position to hold on to first place in the NL West. So it's not like even though they're pretty much guaranteed, they'd have to completely flop to not make the playoffs. You're trying to protect home field advantage.
And you don't want to be in the wild card.
You don't want to be in the wild card.
No.
So that's important. Number two that I got out of it that's very curious is that there was a whole heck of a lot of excitement for finishing 7 innings. And it never used to be like that. Oh, my God, you finished 7 innings. That's nice, right? Yeah. 7 innings, 2 or less runs. I think that's a super quality start, right? Right now, it's, has been for years. 6 innings, 3 or less runs, a quality start, which, by the way, equates to a 4.5 ERA over 9 innings. Yeah. So it's not a good ERA.
It's not great.
So I never liked that stat. But I will say this, that the complete game debacle of the last pretty much 20 years that has been going like this, and this, definitely the last 10 is super crazy and baffles my mind that guys no longer complete games.
Yeah.
The last double-digit complete game pitcher in the major leagues was
that?
Big game James Shields.
Oh,
2011, he had 11.
11
in 2011 was the last double digit. We've got 28 this year. We only have 2 guys that have 2 complete games. It's just gone by the wayside. Obviously, the analytics and the way they treat the pitchers with pitch counts just doesn't.
The money's too big. That's what they look at. They don't want to hurt.
It's just not enough.
And as Smoltzy always says, it's you're trying to protect them, but you're doing the opposite. You're babying
completely
these guys,
the opposite.
And that's why they get hurt. Yeah. A lot of people feel that way.
So that's interesting.
All right. So let's, you want to do a little Japan update?
Hey, why don't we talk a little bit
minutes
about
left?
Yeah. Listen, what's going on in the MPB, which is the Nippon Pro Baseball. For those of you that don't know, Japan is actually pronounced Nippon. Dai Nippon. So it's been a pretty solid year for the top 2 teams that have been the best 2 teams for the last 5 or 6 years, and it's the Hanshin Tigers who won last year, and again the other team that's kind of been in good for a few years, but it's kind of dropped this year is the Oryx Braves. But it's the money guy who was dealt with by President Trump, Mr. Sun, who owns the SoftBank Eagles, and SoftBank Eagles again are in first place in Fukuoka. And they're up 4.5. Hanshin's up by like 14 or 15 games in their division. I think those two are going to, when you get through the playoffs, they're going to meet again. They've had quite a few good meetings over the last decade or so, head to head. My team, the Seibu Lions, has dropped over the years. I was there last year, and without getting into too much of the dynamics, I think they've gotten way too analytical. And it's hurt them. They're really, they remind me of the Rays of like the 12-13 era of the Rays that were, remember, really good pitching, didn't have enough offense. But you had the James Shields and the Prices and, the Matty Moores. That's what this team has now. But you have to go out there and spend some money and get some offense.
Shocking development.
They don't have it. But a couple of guys that are really, guys to watch. My guy with the Seibu Lions, I think, will be coming out, and it's Tetsuya Imai, Imai, and he's basically a mini Yamamoto.
Okay,
same build, a little taller. He's leading the league in strikeouts over there. 9-5. Again, probably should be, 14-3, except he's got no offensive support. But a 1.6 ERA, leading the league in strikeouts. just nasty. He's like a little shade under 6 foot, and just like Yamamoto, just like a surgeon with the baseball in his hand.
Yeah, you think so? You think he's coming to the U.S.?
I think he'll come over. He's 27, so you got to understand, in Japan, you have to be at least 26 or have played 6+ years. He's both. He's 27, and he's into his like 6th or 7th year with the Lions. And I think the Lions, if they're smart, I'll be honest with you, they should sell him off, take some of that money.
Did the Rays get him?
No, I think he's gonna price himself out of the Rays. He's not gonna be in that 325.
It's a new ownership.
He's not gonna be. Listen, I will help them to the ends of the earth to try to get him to come pitch for the Rays.
Okay,
that would be
make it happen, Big O.
But I think he's gonna probably fall in that
how much
200 range.
200 million.
Yeah,
it's a little bit out of there.
I think because Yamamoto got what 325 for 8 years or something like that. It was a surprising amount.
Yeah.
But again, it was the Dodgers.
That's not something that the Rays have
done. The Rays, no,
and as we know,
he's not going to be in that level. Imai's going to be, I think, in the 200s, and I think it's going to be still a big frontline team. But this kid's legit.
So 25 million a
and
year.
And the interesting thing about this kid, because I was with him a lot last year in Japan, you could see, and me talking to him and spending time with him, that he's preparing. Some of these guys start preparing for the exodus. Right, so they're just becoming a little. He's got that maturity. He wants to talk to me in English. He'll say some words, and that's like the mindset now. That's different than when I was there in the '90s. That the mindset then was a fear factor of like, I don't know if we can. I don't know if I can handle it. Yeah, I don't know if I can handle it. And it took Nomo to open the doors. And then
we should do a whole show on Japanese baseball.
Nomo and what he did was historic because people
that'd
don't
be good.
realize.
That'd be good. Let's do that.
But the guys to watch out for is Imai on the hitting side. The guy to watch out for in my book is the leading home run RBI guy in the other league, in the Central League. The Lions playing the Pacific League, and keep an eye on by a guy named Teruki Sato, and he's a young 26. Slim, really smooth third baseman that I think could hit 30 home runs.
Sato,
yeah. Sato. The guy that everybody talks about, but has had injury-riddle years the last couple of years, but he was one of the heroes of the WBC at 22, 23 years old, was Murakami. And he's still like expected to come over, but he's had another injury-riddled kind of season. And talk about a guy that also put on a little weight. Got a lot of success early at 21, 22, and all of a sudden got a little hefty. Yeah. And went a little sumo on me. He went, Oi, nani atendayo? Wow, bakayero. Sokomadayu. I am Murakami-san.
I have no idea what you're saying, but it's funny. It's funny when you talk Japanese. That's all I'm saying.
No, man, but that's the deal, man. A lot of great games this weekend. Listen, the excitement of the NL West is still there. Obviously, Seattle and Houston are jockeying, and we're still doing the Raleigh watch. Is exciting to watch. They had a great game last night with some, Seattle did with some controversy on a check.
We'll talk about that replay in another.
But a wonderful
episode,
wonderful wonderful things going on. So,
all right, partner, great show as always,
man. Football weekend.
Orestes Destrade getting into a little football this weekend, and we'll be back next week to kind of preview the playoffs, see where the Rays are at. Any of that news, you can always get it right here on the Big O Show with Orestes Destrade, where we
tranquilo y tropical.